Okay, so let's just jump into a quick overview, mulligan guide, and things you can do to make the deck cheaper, or at least like talk about the deck a little bit more. Overview-wise, this deck you want to cheese out a lot of things with Overload, get a lot of early pressure, followed by like a slow turn, but you want to ride that early pressure and the extra damage that you generate from it to help close out games quickly. And then if you're not able to close out the game, you can try to do it with Electro Storm Surge Lava Burst or Doomhammer with the Rockbiter weapon, or Vicina if you happen to get a board to stick and they don't wipe it. Those are your basic win conditions. You also have the Spirit of the Frog, which you want to keep as much as you can and low-key hard mulligan for. Like, I'll talk about the mulligans in a second, but he is probably the best card in your deck because he cycles through your deck so consistently, especially with the coin. It's insane. So, yeah, you have card draw to cycle to try to get to these win conditions later on. And you can be kind of anti-aggro with the Thunderhead just because he kind of pops off, I'm not going to lie. Like, there are a lot of things that run a lot of 1-1 lackeys or a lot of 1-1 imps in Zulok or like 2-1s and stuff like that, and these deal with them exceptionally well. And if you rush into taunt minions and kill them that way, you can hit with the minions that were already on the board. So overall, very, very, very solid potential. Mulligans, you want to try to keep the Battle Mage, Surger, so not Surger, Sludge Slurper, sorry, Surging Tempest, that's what I was thinking of, that's why I said Surger at first. And then you want to keep Spirit of the Frog. So basically the minions, Spirit of the Frog, and that's about it. Because you can, ideally, and most likely, you will draw one of the very many cheap spells by the time you play the Spirit of the Frog, and you'll be able to pop off, so you don't need to keep them in your hand. It's the same way as a Mana Cyclone Mage, which I learned. You don't want to have a ton of those spells in hand because you just need to trust that you'll draw them, because it's more important to have the combo pieces because of how important this card is to actually getting your deck to function. In terms of just things you can do to make it cheaper, you kind of need both. Electro Storm Surge, I guess you don't need, and Vicina you don't need. You could replace it with like a Bloodlust if you need to, and that way you need to have like things on board. It just loses you a pretty solid win condition with Electro Storm Surge. She's really important. Vicina you can easily replace with a Bloodlust. Like that's not even a problem. But the Storm Surge is hard because the Lava Burst is an alternate win condition if they put up a wall of taunts, which sometimes happens to you. Last thing that I would like to say is the issue with this deck is the lack of resource generation. If you don't draw Spirit of the Frog, if you don't, you burn out very quickly. And since you have Overload, if they deal with your board the turn you like commit and overload a ton, and then you have a really slow next turn, they take control and then you kind of lose. So you really have to play around removal, but you also can't because you're an aggro deck and you need to just go full face a lot of the time into some matchups. Especially matchups where you need to worry about removal, like Priest. Like, if they have the removal, you were going to lose anyway, so you might as well just fully commit. But if you do fully commit, you're just out of the game. So, hope you guys enjoy this little guide. If you want more information, please feel free to ask questions in the comments. I would be more than happy to answer any of them. And, yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I go 3-0 with this deck, so it is winnable. It is a pretty solid deck. But, like I said, control decks are a really bad matchup for this one, even worse than some of the other decks, in my opinion, aggro decks. But I do think that it has very good potential into things like Rogue and Mage and Hunter that don't have any healing but are popular in the meta. So I do think that this deck has potential. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. I know I said that like 20 seconds ago and then ranted, and I'm doing it again. But see you in like 2 seconds. Don't mind me just playing a little bit of aggro Overload Shaman. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I think this deck is pretty good. I think that this is a really good starting hand. And the way that this deck works is basically you need to somehow draw for your win conditions and burst them down with a ridiculous amount of damage. Ideally, he doesn't deal with this. He plays a 1-3. I trade in. Never mind, we have to go face. We have to outrush this guy. Trading into his face or trading into his minions will not do pretty much anything at all. This is probably literally your best turn to play. Turn 1, turn 2. Just ideally, you want to have the Surging Tempest as the number 1 into Earthen Might. That's just really, really, really strong. Okay, everything that could be going right for me is kind of going right for me right now, so I'll take it. We're going to go face with these. We're going to go face with that. Sure, we overload, but that means that these guys are all pumped up still, and we can just hero power next turn. It's not that big of a deal. He didn't hero power, so he hasn't moved towards his side quests at all. And we have a lot of damage on board already with a Doomhammer in hand that we can play as soon as my guy is done. Not my guy, my weapon, my current weapon is done, and then kind of just pop off. He can't deal with the Spirit of the Frog. It's possible that I don't draw any spells, but like worst case scenario, it just baits him into thinking he needs to kill it in a future turn. So let's just play it, apply a little bit of pressure. If he does happen to kill my board, so be it, but it's very likely that I draw a spell of some kind. I'm able to combo off of that. And worst case scenario, again, I just play Doomhammer and I almost close out the game next turn. Almost. Not quite, but it'll be close. Point is, I'm pretty sure I can do 11 damage before he can do 27, considering he doesn't have taunt in that deck. Oh, he's gonna kill the minion. Oh, he's just going for it. Okay, I see you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. That works. You're taking 4. It's a decent amount of damage. You're gonna coin out a secret, probably. That's fine. We get the lightning bolt, and now we just combo off. Lightning bolt into Earthen Might, into... Shoot, okay, we don't quite technically win yet. We do get Lava Burst. We do win the very next turn. Wait, I'm dumb. We do win. I had 5 damage right there. That was dumb. Okay, I won. This deck clearly can go really, really fast, but this was pretty much like the perfect matchup with the perfect 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. So, yeah, this is the ideal situation. This won't happen every game, so let's hope the next one isn't this good, but also the fact that this one was this good shows how powerful this deck can be. Okay, so let's see here. We do not necessarily want to keep all of these cards. In fact, I think most of these cards you generally want to dump. This card you need a board to actually get to work. Storm Surge, she is good later on. Lava Burst is just not really that good right now in general. You want to draw that with the Spirit of the Frog. Voltaic Burst is actually, there's an argument to be made here. And since he could have the 1/1 imps, I might keep it just for this particular matchup. But ideally, we get a Spirit of the Frog, and we pop off with a ton of cheap little spells, and we cycle through the deck as quickly as possible. And clearly, we got at least one. Oh, he's going Zoo. Oh my gosh, wait. Okay. This is winnable. Am I willing to take a ton of extra damage? Yeah. I'm willing to take a ton of extra damage to pop off with this turn 3 and kill off multiple things. He's going to pump it with health, isn't he? Oh, no, actually, it's fine. Lick him. We'll drop it, we'll pass. I don't have a lot of heal, but I do think that making this play and playing slow and going for a ton of card draw in the next couple of turns is ideal, especially considering he didn't have anything turn 3. This is so nice for me. Basically, it's just like saying, here, you win the game. Oh my god, and then we get... Oh my gosh, I have to play something, though. I can't just, like, straight up die this turn. Yeah, I can't afford to just die this turn. So let's, zap... Coin Voltaic Burst. And just draw a couple of cards here. I'll hit with my face, actually, so I can keep these guys alive, so I can play Earthen Might on one of them. Or worst case scenario, Voltaic Burst and then Storm's Wrath and save this in hand and just draw 10 more cards. Because that sounds pretty freaking great to me. That's fine. Another one of these, another one of these. Hit me with a good old 1-2. And then we get Zap as well, which is really, really strong. So I can kill off the 2-1 and I don't actually have to lose any minions here. Boom. Sorry for the coughing. Do that. I'll give all my things buffs. We'll zap that. We'll trade this into that. We'll trade a rush one into that and go face and face. And I've overloaded a lot, I will admit. And the Thunderhead probably won't get as much value as of now. But I do still have several overload cards in hand. I got the Spirit of the Frog to stick. And if this were control, I would worry about him wiping my board right here. But it's not control, so I'm not worried about him wiping my board right here. So I only have 2 mana. I'm pretty sure I want to just Lightning Bolt, hit, pump some more, and go face. Because I think I'm fine taking the damage here, right? Would there be any reason why I'm not? Well, yeah, we'll just do it. And then Storm's Wrath. I'm fine taking a little bit of damage. Trade this into that. Trade this into that. Go face with these. Because again, he doesn't really have any board wipes, so I'm fine having my guys take damage. If he were playing more of a control deck, I'd go face a little bit more and make him make the trades. So that way I'm not put in a bad position. But we have double Earth and Might. Or, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. We have double Rock Biter Weapon, we win. And then we have Lava Burst as well, so wham bam, thank you man, we got him. Okay, that wasn't necessarily perfectly ideal, but the matchup was good, so I was able to stomp him. And those are 2 quick games, and let's just move on to the next one. It's a little weird to hope for a bad matchup, but I really hope that this is Control Warlock so I can show you how to play into something bad. Into a bad matchup like this, having early game aggression to try to burst him down and hopefully draw something later on is good. Thunderhead's also pretty solid, but he's a little bit late. But I'll keep him anyway. He's a solid body. Basically, the goal here is to just try to rush him down. I mean, I'm banking on the fact that he's control. I'm kind of keeping for that, because you never really assume it's Zoo, because nobody really plays Zoo right now. Except that last guy, apparently. But that's fine. If he plays a Flame Imp, I'm going to absolutely lose it, man. Don't do it. Oh, and he's Zoo too. I'm tilted. Okay, well. Coolio. I can't really afford to trade that. And I don't need to burst him, so he can Rock Biter Weapon. Hit him in the face. You might be thinking, that was a weird play. And I will have to agree with you. But since he's going what seems to be Zoolock, I don't need to focus on bursting him. I need to focus on having a decent sized board and doing consistent damage. And then eventually beating him out that way. It's going to be the 3-1. I'm going to trade in with the Lick'em. And then hit him in the face with the 2-2. Am I going to hit him in the face with the 2-2? Oh, this is so good. I don't get to also play him. And I also want to have a thing for that, but we'll do both of these. It'll pump that up. Trade one in. Trade one in. Keep my minions alive. I'm fine passing up on that damage because, again, board control. At least in this matchup, I think board control is absolutely essential. He's not going to be particularly strong, but that's fine. I will be able to kill pretty much any minion that he plays. Hopefully, he only gets to play one minion. Hit my face, hit my face. Just not the 2-1. Just not the 2-1. Just not the 2-1. Just not the 2-1. Why, though? Why would you do that to me, game? We have to hit that guy. And hit him in the face. We have Doomhammer. We can play Doomhammer. We can hit with this, and then play Doomhammer. And then get to attack again. And generally speaking, you want to save the Rock Biter Weapon for that. But I didn't want to rely on the Doomhammer. Oh my god, dude. We do get to still kill it off. Don't also have Grim Rally, please. Okay, that's fine. I'm actually okay with that. I get to wipe his board. Or alternatively, we play this, and we Lightning Bolt, and we pop off. Lightning Bolt, perfect. Absolutely wonderful here. Trade these 2 into that, because they're rush. Kill off the 1-2, and then hit him in the face. Probably this 3-6 does not die, and then I play Doomhammer, because it curves out perfectly, because I've overloaded one, but it's still 5. Get some more little dudes. Ram him in the face for some extra damage, trade into his minions, have some decent board control, and then ideally we ride this all the way to victory. That's fine, I don't care about that. In fact, I don't care about it so much that I might just be willing to take some damage to deal with it. Oh, you can transform it? That means nothing to me. Snip Snap's actually kind of dangerous. Ooh, Rock Biter Weapon, we like that. Do I care about that? Zoolock doesn't run anything crazy good, right? I'm fine taking 1 damage and then trading the rushes in and then just going face. Like, if he's running Zilliax, then I don't know what he's doing. You don't run Zilliax in that deck. Like, I'm pretty sure. I don't run Zilliax in my version. That's fine. That doesn't really do anything. What he should have done is killed off one of the 1-1s, so I missed out on some damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 6. both are 6. I'll go with this 6 because it's cooler. And now we just go for a maximum damage. And we kill him off. Okay, so 3 games, 3 quick wins. That is 180 gold for me because I finished 3 games with Shaman extremely quickly. I'm going to say it. This deck is actually really good into the right matchups. It should beat Rogue. It should beat Hunter. It should beat Zoolock. And it should beat Mage because they don't have healing. And you don't really rely on having a board after a certain point. You burst them down with hitting. So if they have the board wipe, you're fine. Warlock, on the other hand, is actually a problem because they have a decent amount of heal. And they get some really big taunts in front of you and just take over the board after turn 5 with some cheese. And you don't have as much consistent damage. I mean, you can win that matchup for sure if you are able to burst them down and have some spells in hand and you get a good Spirit of the Frog. But they can kill your Spirit of the Frog pretty easily, even through its stealth, because they have some decent board wipe, like the Dark Skies. So pretty much everything about Warlock is bad for you. But yeah, I think that this this is definitely a good deck. It's not very expensive, so I'd recommend trying it out if you are on a budget. And yeah, I hope this helped you guys out. See ya.